Billionaire walks up to his new mansion, but just as he reaches for the door, a homeless boy runs out of the woods screaming, "Don't open that door! What's hiding inside will leave you speechless." Before we uncover the terrifying truth, make sure to like this video and subscribe, because what you're about to hear is unbelievable. It was a cold, rainy night when billionaire property developer Henry Callister pulled his silver Rolls Royce into the driveway of a secluded mansion he had just purchased. The sky grumbled with thunder, and trees swayed like dancers in a storm. Henry wasn't used to being alone. Usually, his assistant or driver handled his business, but tonight, curiosity got the better of him. He wanted to see the house for himself before renovations began. As he stepped out of the car, umbrella in hand, something strange happened. A boy, soaked to the bone, sprinted from the woods and threw himself in front of Henry. His clothes were torn, his face pale, and his eyes wild with fear. "Don't open that door. Please don't go inside," the boy screamed, grabbing Henry's coat. Startled, Henry pulled away. "What in the world? Who are you?" "You can't go in there. It's not safe. It's watching." Henry's heart pounded. He looked at the house. Its windows were dark, and the structure looked old, but solid. He was a man of logic and business, not fairy tales. "Go home, kid?" "You're trespassing," Henry snapped, brushing past the boy. But the boy shouted one last time, "It took my brother. Please, listen." Henry hesitated, keys in hand. The boy's voice echoed in his mind. "It took my brother." The idea seemed ridiculous. Haunted houses weren't real, right? Still, something about the boy's desperation unsettled him. He turned to ask more questions, but the boy was gone, disappeared into the woods as if he were never there. Shaking his head, Henry stepped onto the porch and slid the heavy iron key into the lock. Click! The door creaked open slowly. Cold air rushed past him, and a strange, earthy smell filled his nostrils. The kind of smell that comes from something long hidden. The house was dead quiet. Furniture sat covered in dusty white sheets, and portraits on the wall watched him with blank eyes. He stepped inside. The floor groaned beneath his shoes. As he walked deeper into the mansion, the air grew colder, unnaturally cold. Suddenly, a door upstairs slammed shut. He froze. "Hello?" he called out. No response. Henry, against better judgment, moved toward the grand staircase. But as he placed his foot on the first step, "Don't open that door." The voice wasn't in his head this time. It came from behind. He spun around. Nobody. His breathing quickened. Had the boy followed him in? But the door had been locked behind him. Trying to convince himself it was all in his imagination, Henry walked into what looked like the living room. There was a fireplace with old ashes, and something scratched behind the walls. Rats, maybe? He picked up a flashlight from his bag and moved toward the basement door. He had seen this door earlier in the floor plan, nothing remarkable. But something about it now seemed different. The doorknob was old brass and colder than the rest of the house. He reached for it, then froze. The flashlight flickered. From behind the door came a sound. Breathing. Not just noise, but rhythmic human-like breathing. And not one person. Multiple. Henry staggered back. "Nope. I'm not doing this," he muttered, heading for the front door. He grabbed the knob, twisted, locked. He hadn't locked it. It couldn't lock from the inside. Panic set in. He banged on the door. "Hello? Anyone out there?" No answer. Just the wind howling and the soft creaking of footsteps above him. Someone or something was in the house. Just as Henry was about to lose control, there was a knock at the front door, 3 hard knocks. He whipped it open, and there stood the same homeless boy, eyes wide, hands trembling. "You didn't listen," the boy whispered. "Now it's awake." Henry pulled him inside. "What is it? What are you talking about?" The boy, whose name was Eli, explained between gasps. He and his brother used to sneak into the house years ago when it was abandoned. One day his brother found the basement door unlocked. He went down and never came back. "I tried to save him," Eli whispered, tears forming. "But when I screamed, the house, something in it, slammed the door shut. I couldn't open it. I ran. No one believed me." Henry, a man who once only believed in numbers, now stood face to face with something he couldn't explain. The cold, The door, the breathing, it all connected. They both turned to the basement door. It was wide open. Henry held the flashlight tightly as he and Eli stood at the top of the basement stairs. A damp, foul stench rose from below, and with each step the air grew heavier. They reached the basement floor, a stone room lined with shelves of rotted books and broken furniture. Then they saw it. Chains. Chains bolted into the wall, with scraps of torn fabric still hanging from them. Suddenly, the light flickered again, and the door slammed shut above them. Eli screamed, "It's here!" From the corner of the room, a tall, shadowy figure began to form, its face a swirl of emptiness, its mouth stretched unnaturally wide. Henry dropped the flashlight in fear. But then something happened. The shadows paused. The figure recoiled slightly, as if recognizing Eli. And then, from the darkness, a faint voice echoed, "Eli!" The shadow crumbled into dust, and in its place was a boy. Eli's brother. Pale, weak, but alive. Henry was speechless. They climbed the stairs together, forced the door open with all their strength, and ran into the night, never looking back. Henry never returned to the mansion. The property was donated, the land blessed, and the house demolished months later. He credited the homeless boy who no one believed, the same boy who screamed, "Don't open that door!" Sometimes the smallest voices carry the biggest truths.